Some numbers are so vast they become abstract, losing their human meaning. We hear of a disaster and a figure is attached. 10,000, 50,000, a quarter of a million. It is a statistic, a headline, a moment of passing shock. But behind every single digit is a life. A person with a name, a family, a story, a future that was suddenly and violently erased. These events are often called acts of nature, as if they are separate from us. But the true story is not just about the raw power of the earth. It is a story of where we choose to live, how we build our homes, and whether we are prepared. This is an exploration of those moments when our planet unleashed its might. We will journey through time and across the globe, not to sensationalize the horror, but to understand it. We will look at earthquake, tsunami, flood, volcano, cyclone. Each event holds a lesson, a truth revealed in the rubble and the silence that follows. The purpose is not to assign blame, but to bear witness. By understanding why these moments were so devastatingly lethal, we honor the memory of the countless souls who were lost. We will not see these events through the eyes of a single presenter, but through the lens of history itself. Through archival records, the quiet testimony of survivors, and the stark, unblinking data, a picture emerges. It is a picture of vulnerability, but also one of resilience. It is a chronicle of how communities were shattered and how the survivors found the strength to rebuild. We will slow down, listen closely, and try to comprehend the scale of the loss. The stories are difficult, but they are essential. They are a part of our shared human experience, a solemn reminder of nature's power and our responsibilities. Our journey begins with a simple, stark visualization. Imagine a world map, quiet and still. As we name each disaster, a point of light will appear and a counter will begin to tick upwards, relentlessly. Each number represents a person. The counter does not stop until it reaches a final, staggering total. This is not a game, it is a memorial. It is a way to translate the abstract into the tangible, to feel the true weight of the numbers. We start with the solid ground beneath our feet, a foundation we take for granted until the moment it begins to violently shake, and the world we know comes crashing down around us. There is perhaps no more primal fear than the ground itself turning against you. An earthquake does not announce its arrival. One moment, life is normal. The next, the very earth convulses. Buildings, symbols of safety, become instruments of death. The deadliest quakes are not always the strongest. The death toll is a cruel equation of geology, but most critically, how we build. Structures of unreinforced brick or brittle concrete are no match. In densely populated cities with poor building codes, catastrophe waits silently in the fault lines beneath. In 1556, the deadliest earthquake ever recorded struck China's Shanxi province. The death toll was a staggering 830,000 people. The cause lay in how people lived. Many had carved their homes, called yaodongs, directly into cliffs of fine, loose soil. These dwellings were catastrophically unstable. When the quake hit, the soft cliffs collapsed, burying entire communities in an instant. Even formidable stone pagodas and city walls were reduced to rubble. Centuries later, on another continent, the same tragic story of vulnerability played out. On January 12, 2010, a magnitude 7 earthquake struck the nation of Haiti, its epicenter terrifyingly close to the densely packed capital, Port-au-Prince. Though far less powerful than other quakes, its impact was apocalyptic. Official estimates of the death toll vary widely, from 100,000 to over 316,000. The reason for the immense loss of life was tragically simple: a near-total lack of enforced building codes. In a city teeming with millions, countless homes and buildings were constructed hastily with cheap materials, unreinforced concrete and cinder blocks, what engineers call non-ductile structures, which shatter under stress. When the ground shook for just 35 seconds, the city pancaked. The presidential palace, the national cathedral, hospitals, schools, and slums collapsed with equal terrifying finality. The government and United Nations infrastructure were crippled, decapitating any hope of a coordinated response in the crucial first hours. International aid was slow to arrive, hampered by a destroyed port and a congested airport. For days, ordinary citizens dug through the rubble with their bare hands, their cries for help echoing through the dust-choked streets. The Haiti earthquake was not just a natural disaster, it was a catastrophe of poverty and institutional failure, a heartbreaking lesson in how human factors can multiply nature's destructive power. The word tsunami, Japanese for harbor wave, belies its true nature. It is not a single wave, but a series of surges born from a colossal displacement of water, usually an undersea earthquake. This energy travels across the ocean at the speed of a jetliner, transforming into a towering wall of water as it reaches the coast. The surge becomes a liquid battering ram, pulverizing everything in its path. On our map, a new light pulses in the Indian Ocean, an event that sent ripples to a dozen nations. On December 26, 2004, a colossal magnitude 9.1 undersea earthquake off Sumatra, Indonesia, triggered one of the deadliest disasters in modern history, the Indian Ocean tsunami. Within minutes, waves over 100 feet high obliterated the coast of Aceh, erasing entire towns. The waves raced across the ocean, striking Thailand, Sri Lanka, and reaching as far as Africa, catching millions completely unaware. The final death toll reached approximately 230,000 people across 14 countries. The catastrophic loss of life was due to the absence of a tsunami warning system in the region. The disaster served as a brutal wake-up call, leading to the rapid implementation of the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System. Unlike the sudden violence of an earthquake, a flood can be a slow, creeping killer. The 1931 China floods are a grim example. The country's major rivers overflowed, covering an area the size of England. But the true catastrophe was the aftermath. Lingering floodwaters destroyed harvests, leading to catastrophic famine, while contaminated water bred deadly diseases. The combined effects claimed up to 4 million lives. Even today, infrastructure failure can be lethal, as seen when New Orleans levees failed during Hurricane Katrina. Volcanoes are a profound reminder of the immense heat and pressure churning just beneath our planet's crust. But it is not always lava that poses the greatest threat. One of the most destructive forces is a pyroclastic flow, a fast-moving avalanche of searingly hot gas and ash. In 1902, on the island of Martinique, Mount Pelée unleashed such a flow upon the city of Saint-Pierre. It descended in minutes, incinerating the city and killing its nearly 30,000 inhabitants instantly. Volcanic eruptions can also have global impacts, like Mount Tambora in 1815, which caused the Year Without a Summer. Section 8. Hurricanes and Cyclones. The rage of the wind. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are nature's most powerful storms, but their greatest danger is often the storm surge, a lethal wall of water that sweeps across coastlines. The deadliest was the 1970 Bola cyclone in Bangladesh. A 35-foot surge inundated the low-lying Ganges Delta, where people had no protection or high ground. An estimated 500,000 people perished, making it the deadliest cyclone on record. More recently, 2013 Super Typhoon Haiyan reaffirmed this terrifying power, devastating the Philippines and killing over 6,000 people. Across these catastrophes, common, tragic threads emerge. They reveal how a natural event becomes a human disaster. The deadliest disasters strike dense populations, where poverty and poor construction turn tremors and storms into mass tragedies. A lack of building codes or resources means homes become tombs. Another thread is the failure of warning. A warning without a clear plan for evacuation is a hollow gesture, as the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami tragically proved. Finally, the initial impact is often just the beginning. It is the secondary disasters, the famine, fire, and disease that follow, that compound the tragedy, claiming lives for weeks, months, or even years to come. Section 10. Conclusion. Lessons written in loss. The Earth does not act with malice. An earthquake is simply the release of tectonic stress. A hurricane is a function of atmospheric physics and ocean heat. Forces of nature, indifferent, like the turning planets. They have shaped our world for eons. To view these only as tragedies is to miss the message. They are also lessons, brutal, effective teachers, knowledge written in rubble and loss, a curriculum we ignore at our peril. The lessons are clear. How we build matters more than almost anything. Enforcing strong, modern building codes saves lives. Early warning is a fundamental right. Tsunami detection buoys, Doppler weather radar networks, volcano monitoring stations, planning and education, knowing your risk, having an evacuation route, understanding the meaning of a siren. Disasters reveal something about ourselves. In the immediate aftermath, we witness courage and compassion. Neighbors digging through rubble for strangers. Communities sharing scarce food and water. A global outpouring of aid and solidarity. This resilience is the counter-narrative to destruction. Proof that the human spirit is hard to extinguish. Our task is twofold. First, remember. Don't let numbers numb us. Remember the faces and stories. Saint-Pierre, Banda Aceh, Port-au-Prince. Honor their memory by learning from their fate. Second, act. Build safer cities. Create more effective warning systems. Reduce the vulnerabilities that turn hazards into mass casualty events.